It says we're going live, but are we live? It says we're live! Hello everyone, and welcome to the Level With Us Livecast with me, your host, Marco DeSantos, also known as the Mechanic Critic. And with me is the ever-amazing, ever-wonderful project manager of Level 99 Games himself.
Josh, also known as O3. How's it going, everybody?
How's it going, everyone? Now, you might be seeing this screen right now, and it's just a picture of Jamie and Melrath, our two self-inserts into BattleCon. So now I'm gonna go shift to less attractive-looking people, because we're not anime boys in real life. It's me and Josh. Look at us. We are real, or maybe not.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. It's been a long time since you all seen my face, and probably Josh's face, too. We've been doing a lot of design streams, right?
Right.
And what do you call this? We've been doing a lot of design streams. We did the gameplay stream for Soccer Arms, so it's been a while since y'all seen my face. You know, in case you haven't noticed, my hair is really weird right now. I can't really go to the barber. You know, Josh, I can't really go to the barber. So I have my dad shave my head, essentially, which is an interesting experience, to say the very least. How about you, Josh? How do you handle haircuts? Do you just get a haircut?
I get a haircut. I mean, I get a haircut once a year, so
Wow.
now that I've gotten it, I'm just gonna let it grow out for a while.
I see, I see. So you get to a point where you have the long locks, like a surfer dude, bro.
I get to a point where I don't want to spend lots of money on shampoo, so I just
Ah.
chop it all off, as you see here.
I see. So everybody, hello. Welcome to the Levels of Livecast. So the docket for this show is going to be very interesting because it's unlike all of our previous shows. It's going to be more like one of those hangout, let's just chill, let's just talk, Q&A/update episodes like I used to do with Brad, which is really interesting, by the way, because Brad isn't actually the best person for those kinds of episodes. Not to say that he doesn't know what's going on in the company, but Josh is the project manager, which means he knows all the deadlines and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's his literal job to keep track of deadlines and updates on every single project. So he's the wealth of knowledge we all need for these kinds of episodes. Okay. So hi chat, how are you doing today? It seems that people have forgotten their special action. Rest in peace, the special action. You're not used in BattleCon V4 anymore, lest we never forget you. You paved the way for greatness. How is everybody? I'm not seeing chat update, so I'm assuming YouTube is just being bad again. No offense, YouTube. Please don't demonetize. Why would I say please don't demonetize when we literally never monetize anything? Oh my gosh. All right. Josh, how are you doing today? What's up?
I'm all right. I'm a little tired, but we've been really busy this couple weeks getting Mega Man to Jasco and whatnot, and working on other projects that aren't Soccer Arms as well. Finishing up season 5. Working on things I still can't talk about that we may not have logos for that aren't approved yet. So yeah, we've been doing a lot. It's been a busy last couple weeks.
Okay, is this the secret reveal stream for Bullet winky face emoji? Or
no? Unfortunate. No, this is not that stream yet. Maybe in a couple weeks or in a couple more weeks.
I see. So confirmed next set is called Bullet Wink Face.
Confirmed emoji. We might announce something before the year is out for another project that may or may not be bullet related.
Oh man, you know what? I've been kind of like I've been fever dreaming for the past like 2 to 3 weeks because all I've been doing is just Mega Man. I eat, breathe, like sleep Mega Man. It's actually kind of wild, right? Like all I've been doing is Mega Man. And you know what? After this live stream, Josh, guess what I'm gonna do?
More Mega Man.
It's just more Mega Man, man. Like it's actual insanity. More Pixel Tactics crossovers, chat says.
More PT. PT is something that we haven't really talked about in the company. Well, besides that one thing that we can't talk about yet.
Hey, besides that one thing that I literally
that one thing, like as far as like main PT, it's kind of been on the back burner. While we have a lot of new projects coming up that aren't PTer. It's a PT's kind of taken a back seat for
But
now. As far as what the future holds, I don't really know.
see,
Oh, it hasn't really been on the table yet.
yeah, the thing about PT is you all have to understand it when oh, something's wrong with my camera. Wait. What happened to my camera? Camera, please. Okay, I need to restart my camera. I froze.
Mm.
Oh, hello, camera. All right, camera fixed. So one thing you have to realize about the way so board game production is a very weird thing that that everybody needs to understand because while it looks like we may not be doing anything with a specific game series or property or something like that, it might be that we've literally just done it and we just can't tell you about it yet. You know? For example,
we've gotten into the realm of licensing a bit lately.
Right.
So some of the projects we have coming up might have to do licenses.
Might have
but
to do with
a lot of it's, we have a lot of games, right? It's been a while since there's been a new Argent, and I can say like we're not really working on anything Argent the board game related right now. So, there are some things that just kind of fall inside Argent Noir. There's a couple other games that we haven't really picked up yet.
Right.
Again, maybe we won't, maybe we'll, we'll see.
Yeah.
But if there's any games you guys are wondering besides PT, like the status of we're going to do anything, so that, yeah, feel free to ask and I may or may not be able to talk about things relating to certain projects.
Yeah, that's really the crux of it all, right? Like, man, I'm so excited.
I mean, I can usually say we're doing something. I just can't talk about specifics a lot of the time.
Hey,
like I can say that there's going to be more Exceed coming, guys, but I can't talk about like what the seasons are.
And there might be more PT, but I can't talk about what it is or maybe whether or not when it'll come out. Who knows, right? Like, so Chad is asking what happened to PTO. So Pixel Tactics Online, for people who don't know, was a planned video game that we were going to release. That's based on the Pixel Tactics engine. So it was kind of like BattleCon Online and all of that stuff. We've come to realize after doing BattleCon Online and after developing Pixel Tactics Online for a while that video game development is hard, and trying to keep a living / lifestyle-esque game up is hard. So we've just decided to focus more on the things that, like, we're good at, like board games. So it's on the back burner, essentially. Not to say that
it's kind of shelved indefinitely. I don't know that we'll be going back to digital ventures anytime soon.
Right. So
I guess you're talking about soundtracks.
Right, yeah, of course. Bullet soundtrack. Oh, we released the Youngja soundtrack. I believe it's called Last One Out is Here for All Eternity or something like that.
Yeah, so like the whole Bullet Heart soundtrack is done. We're working on putting it on Spotify and stuff with a cool cover by our very own Davey, graphic designer.
Oh, right. Oh, so is that the official
We haven't
cover?
shown that off yet.
Oh, man.
We can show it off if you want.
Sure. Okay, this is gonna require some technical wizardry, so be right back.
Okay. I mean, if it's too hard, you can just...
No, it's not gonna be too hard. It just means that I need to change some windows around, and don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
And again, this doesn't mean we're necessarily doing a physical release just because we have a cover. There's plenty of digital albums that have covers.
Right, it's just so that, when we put it up on Spotify or whatever, people can...
Yeah, there can be an image for it.
Right.
But that's not to say that physical release is not in the cards. Maybe eventually, we'll see.
We'll see. There's a lot of... It's... Okay, so...
I like physical soundtracks. I have a ton of them,
So let me just show off this soundtrack thing over here. Boom. Nope. Wrong. That's not Josh's face. Technical difficulties to show off something midstream that I didn't know I had to show off. Who knew that this would lead to technical difficulties? It's fine, Josh. I figured it out. Look at this.
Oh, good.
So
look at that thing I assume you're looking at right now.
Yeah, everyone. Whoops, that's not Josh's face. All right. So it's very interesting. I really love this cover art that Davey made. It makes it look like it's like an old styley like bossa nova lo-fi chill hip hop beats to listen to. Like
Yeah, definitely.
that's the aesthetic that he's going for, which is really funny. So like, so
Mhm.
one thing we were complaining, or rather, we were arguing of in the chat for the company chat. I mean, is that technically, for all intents and purposes, you wouldn't use headphones to listen to music in the Cycle 617 universe, right?
Oh, like what's the canon of this image? Yeah, yeah.
Right, like because there's
I mean, this is a totally canon image you're looking at. Like, you know, Adel doesn't really headphones work. She just assumes that, oh, these are what people used to listen to music. And so if I put them on, I'll hear music.
right. So
And
for
she probably thinks that nothing she's hearing is music.
yeah, so
So it's
one thing that's very important to understand in the Bullet universe is that music as a concept has undergone some sort of like sixth wave renaissance or whatever, and I believe you say that music is very literal in Cycle 617, right? So like metal music
yeah,
is
there's this
just
big like literalism phase going on
right.
currently on Earth, at least.
So metal music, quote unquote, is literally just the sound of metal clanging against each other, right?
Hmm.
It's not like Metallica or whatever, right? Like
Right, right.
yeah, it's literally just metal banging against each other or stuff like that. So so that's kind of so basically music, quote unquote, doesn't exist in the form that we think music exists in. So this image is basically okay. And Adelheid is a musical, like, you know, a musical alchemist, but she's a hipster essentially, right? She knows what, quote unquote, music is like 500 years ago, which is what we think music is right now, right?
Yeah, well, she specializes in classical specifically. Like, there's still normal music genres in like Future Earth, but they're much like they're not popular right now.
Right. What's
And like
popular?
Adel doing classical music has been dead for like hundreds and hundreds, and like nobody knows what it is.
Right.
So like Adel can read sheet music, which is something like nobody else can do
Yeah,
in the current time.
it's like knowing Latin and not
Mhm.
being a lawyer.
Right.
All right. So let's read more of chat. Licensed
Yes,
Pixel
check it.
Tactics. Muppet Babies Pixel Tactics confirmed. I don't know why everybody always wants Muppet Babies Exceed, Muppet Babies Pixel Tactics when we could have Shrek Exceed and Shrek Pixel Tactics. The real answer is no, not Muppet Babies confirmed. I really wish it was, but you know, man, I can't even do a Kermit impression. Oh, no, I can't do it, man.
I can't either. I'm not gonna try.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. It's really weird because in Scoob and Shag, Kermit is one of the main characters, so I should have a Kermit impression because I run an RPG for it. But hey, whatever. Power Play 2 when? Gosh, I
Ooh.
wish. Gosh.
Yeah, Power Play is one of that hasn't sold super well. It was one of our older titles. I think that it's something that one of those titles that Brad would like to go back to eventually, but we have to do all these other things first.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I would probably not be too planning to see a new Power Play anytime soon, but I'll let John know that you want it because I'm sure he'd be excited to do a new
Right.
iteration.
One thing to be clear though is that Power Play 1 is already perfect, so just buy it, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh,
we have more copies of Power Play in stock, so own it, check it out.
yeah, it's a fun game. Unfortunate. I'm looking forward to new PT news in the eventual future. Yeah, look forward to it.
There is news that is coming in the future. How long I can't say.
Yeah,
I actually don't know the status of the project right now because reasons.
because
So
licensing and reasons, right? Like
yeah,
we don't
because it
know.
might be a license thing.
Yeah,
Um, so we'll tell you more when we know more and
right.
when we are allowed to tell you more.
Sure. Noir Championship Edition when? You know what? Honestly, what would
It's
that
funny
even
that you
mean?
say that.
What would Noir Championship Edition even mean? Like, if you find them
Some
and
sort of competitive mode or something.
I mean, Noir's already a competitive game, right?
Like a like a really competitive where you have like 6 actions instead of 3. Some like really rules intricate
Then
kind of
that's not
mode. I don't
Noir
know.
anymore, right? Like,
I guess
yeah, like
I've
the
been bugging Brad to do like a noir definition for all that like includes all the modes from all the different versions and like
See.
has a the quality of Automata,
Oh, that's
and so
fair.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, I would like that. You know what? Honestly, here's
Mhm.
my idea for Noir Championship Edition. Okay, listen to me.
Mhm.
If you lose in the game, you get arrested in real life.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the shadow Noir game. Like
When you kill
Noir.
somebody in Noir, you kill somebody in real life.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Mhm.
see, that's
Mhm.
man. If I could make a board game like that, that would be insanity. Any news of Mystic Empyrean version 2 or second edition, or is that one shelved for now too?
Uh, yeah. So we've been kind of working that a little bit. We some rewriting done for a section. I don't know when the cards are be right for doing that. Like I said, we have a lot of projects we still have to do. Seventh Cross. Um, so uh, it's something that we've been wanting to do. And we have some work on, but I really can't say when that's going to happen.
Right.
Um, so we'll see. We know that people want a new edition, and we want to do a new edition, but we
Right.
just haven't really found the time to put that together yet.
Right, because certain other projects are taking the spotlight right now,
A
and
lot of
I
other projects, not just Seventh Cross. I joke about Seventh Cross, but
right, no, 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 not just Seventh Cross. Here's the thing, Josh.
mm,
There is a reason. There is a specific project that you could look at
there are
look at my face.
so
Look at
many
this, look at
projects.
this face, dude. Look at this face,
I can't
and
see your face.
damn it, I forgot. But just
I'll imagine your face.
chat. Look at this face. This is the face of a man who has experienced true sublime beauty and is forever scarred by the fact that he cannot talk about it. That he
There are
cannot.
like 3 or 4 projects we can almost talk about, but not quite yet.
Oh yeah.
So, and I know which one you're talking about, Marco, and yes, I would love to talk about that
Me
one
too,
as
dude.
well,
Me too.
but not yet. Maybe before the end of the year. We'll see. We got a couple months left. We're in all of December, so
Right.
keep your
It's.
eyes peeled on our live streams and our newsletter, and you'll be the first to know about things that we might talk about sooner
Yeah.
than later.
Things I'm super duper excited about, like the level 99 games dating sim. Oh, I've exposed
So yeah,
that.
any other games you guys want potential things we might talk about,
Oh
current
no.
things that we're working on that we've already announced.
Oh no, Josh. Oh no, Josh, your camera froze. Josh, your camera froze. You gotta fix that. Restart the camera, Josh.
You there, Marco? Did I lose you?
Oh no, Josh. Oh no. Okay, chat. We're gonna have to do this again. Chat. Are you guys still? Is chat still with me?
I think you dropped out, Marco.
Okay. No, dude. Whatever, man. Look, we're fine. We're back. We're back. Okay. Like, quite honestly, Josh, I'm gonna accidentally reveal everything now. Oh, come on. Why is my camera being so weird today? Technical difficulties fixed. What do you call this? So I'm gonna secretly reveal that the Level 99 Games dating sim featuring me, Josh, Brad, and everybody else is in development.
I mean, Cinder's already out, right? We can't work on a dating sim board game
Dang it, you're right.
now.
Dang, you're right.
They've done it. Like we can't top that.
Yeah, we can't top dating dragons on a magical Tinder app. You're very very correct. Okay, so let's move on to more questions. So can we start calling the game Bullet Heart because it's literally on the album cover?
Yeah. So when we originally designed Bullet, we were designing it with the intention to not pronounce the hearts, and then I quickly realized during the Kickstarter that future games would probably need shapes too, because we kind of set this weird naming scheme. It's like bullet shape. So yeah, the heart is now pronounced. It's some like bullet heart version or some line. So yeah, you can pronounce the heart now.
Right. So
Um,
if
just like all the other shapes, you'll be able to pronounce in the future.
right, like bullet egg or bullet sun.
I don't know about egg. Maybe.
Maybe there's an entire season of just reptilians and birds, so you can call it Bullet
I mean,
Egg.
there is a snake character in in Star. So
Yeah. Oh, dude, can we
yes.
talk about the snake character in Star?
I mean, we don't want to reveal too much. We've already said stream that it's your character, but
Right. I mean, like we can
I don't want to say too much more yet.
we can say a little bit more. We can say a little bit more. Can we just
If you
say
want,
yeah. Just one thing. Just two things
what do you want
actually.
to say?
Um race and age. Like that's all I want to say.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Yeah,
Right.
sure.
So the character that quote unquote is my character, and one thing I want to make clear, right? This isn't a self insert, right? This is just a character that basically I went to Josh and went like, we probably should have a character like this, right? That's basically the extent that it is my character. Like
Yeah, Mark, I wanted a Filipino character, and
Right.
I was like, sure.
Right.
So we worked together to make something.
So we have this character is Filipino and is like 50 something years old. So she's like mom, like grandma-ish, like nearing senior citizen age. So it's gonna be really cool. Bullet
Yeah,
eggplant.
I'm excited for the character.
Chad said bullet eggplant. Do you accept that? Do you accept bullet eggplant
No,
in your
absolutely
canon?
not. No.
All right.
But there will be other shapes, but not in an eggplant.
Not eggplant. Okay, that's unfortunate.
No. Maybe other edible shapes.
Oh, bullet cookie. Bullet cookie. It's not too
Bullet
bad.
cookie.
Bullet cookie's not too bad. Bullet race car. Bullet devil face. I think who knows, man. Okay. Oh, BattleCon 5th edition for 2023, right? That's a meme. We will probably not be making BattleCon 5th edition anytime ever.
Anytime period ever. We'll probably update War and Fate to 4th eventually.
Right.
Once the current stock
And
sells
as
out.
we've already announced on our Kickstarter, we're also going to be doing that, like, let's fix the typos thing. But more than that.
Yeah, we'll be doing a fixed patch at some point in some fashion.
One thing I want to make very clear is that this is something that we're planning to do, but this isn't something that we're ascribing a deadline to because we have other projects to finish. Other projects.
Yeah, it's when we get time, sometime between now and the end of next year is the
hope
deadline.
Is the hope. I mean, like that's the hope, right? Like,
no, I mean, I would make that a deadline. As project lead, I would probably we can make time between now and the end of next year. So
who knows, man? Like, what if next year we go into a whirlwind of whatever? Capcom comes to us in the middle of the dead of the night, and they're like, "We need you."
Through Jasco. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Like literally, like Mr. Capcom. I don't know who's the CEO of Capcom or president of Capcom. Mr. Capcom appears in your house in the dead of the night, and he goes like, "You better make a Monster Hunter board game, or I will destroy you." And we're like, "Oh, like we weren't planning on this. We never knew this was gonna happen, but like we need it to happen, right? Like who knows?"
I mean, yeah, anything licensing could happen. Point where just like we have lots of licenses currently, we are also attempting to get other licenses. So if any of those, come up, we might have to shift gears a bit.
Right.
But we'll see.
Chat is saying, double COVID Mark II Electric Boogaloo might happen. Who knows? Like the world.
I mean, yeah, anything could happen with the world. There's nothing we can do about.
Yeah, like
either.
2020 is an absolute fiesta, right? Like, so who knows? Chat is saying, "Oh no, Marco, you're not getting me to buy a second copy of Power Play. Your silver tongue has failed you this day." I'm not trying to bamboozle you into buying a second copy of Power Play. If you already have it, you are already part of the profits of Power Play. I'm trying to convince all the other people who have not seen the light, because Power Play is truly a delight to play. Fun fact, I don't know if I've told this story on stream before. I know I've told it to Josh, but there was a time where, so I live in Asia, so we have that Japanese anime thing where you have that sports festival like every year, right? So we have a sports festival in my school when I was in high school, and we essentially purposely tanked all of the events so that we wouldn't proceed to the next bracket, so that we would all have more free time to play Power Play instead. So that's the kind of thing that we're basically doing. Josh, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Just making sure. Look, I don't trust the technology today.
Right.
For people who don't know, there's a typhoon going on in my country right now. It's raining cats and dogs outside, so I'm worried that my internet's cutting out and stuff. So tell me if there's any technical problems, and I'll try to fix them. Tell us on code, reveal the beauty. We
Don't you need to something, Marco, before we forget?
Oh, right. I was gonna do that like near the end, so like
Oh,
don't
okay, we can do that.
yeah, don't worry about it yet. Don't worry about it yet. Okay, so with that, let's keep going through chat. Josh, can you read through chat while I'm? Nope, never mind. You don't need to read through chat.
I don't have YouTube up. But...
Yeah, I was about to say you don't need to read that. Still here. Sakura update is on Kickstarter. Initial response seems to be rather positive. Let's talk about the Sakura Arms update, Josh. Josh?
You dropped out for a sec.
Okay, I said let's talk about the Sakura Arms update.
Okay, sure. I mean, we have an update up. You can read it right now. We're talking about the card template updates that we made to Sakura Arms. We basically did a not complete reversion, but a large skip version to the original template for a bunch of various reasons outlined by Brad in the update. So
right,
it's a little bit long to go to,
I mean, let's
TLDR.
Let's just give fans the TLDR, right?
Yeah, we can TLDR. The main points in my opinion are it makes future proofing much easier and it makes data entry easier. I just turn off some layers and we put text in it and no matter what kind of crazy templated card Bakafire makes will probably be fine. There's still of course a couple concerns with changing Japanese text into English. English text generally takes up a lot more space, so we still might run into some issues we have to tackle with certain goddesses in the future, but it does make it a lot easier. Also, the aesthetics of the original template were a lot more pleasing, I think, to a lot of people.
Right. So we basically listened to people's feedback. We examined all of our options, and basically in almost every single aspect, the pros outweighed the cons, right? Like we wanted to change the templates to make it more appealing to an English audience, right? And we do think that some of those changes were actually good. The problem is that, like, despite the goodness of that, a lot of stuff is lost. The fans wanted more true to Japanese templates. But the real important stuff is stuff like future proofing. So we don't know.
Future proofing and just working with the original templates was kind of a pain. The art doesn't go all the way. It's not unlike a lot of our other games where we just take a full real art piece and put a card in Sakura Arms. It's an art piece that's sized specifically to the card template. So once you get past the edges, there's no more art. So if we update the template, the art becomes awkward to move around. And then we have to add UI and to mask non-existent art. It's kind of just a big mess. Update template too much because we have to work within the constraints of what Buck gives us. So
yeah.
Keeping it close to the original seemed to be working pretty well.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, that's it. We did make some changes that are different from the original template. Specifically,
yeah, we use icons for type and subtype instead of words.
Right.
We do a bit of text messing around to make sure things fit in the English version, but it's mostly the same. I think those are the only major changes. It's just using icons.
Right. We have some. Yeah. No. We also use an icon to refer to resurgence and stuff like that. Right.
Yeah. We're doing a little more we use our simplified icons in text. If an effect said
a reaction or an
distance attack is something referring to distance. We'd use our simplified distance icon in the text.
Right. And this is
we keep the full icons.
Right. This is something that's very important, right? Because one thing that's become an issue with localizing a game like this is that Japanese characters stand in for sound or phonetics, right? So a Japanese word that's a lot of syllables actually is only 3 characters a lot of the time, right? In English, a single syllable word can sometimes be 5, 6 letters or whatever, right? So sometimes a Japanese effect that fits in the text box gets really sketchy when you get to the American translation. English translation. So that's something that we've had to consider, and something that the icons help us with. You know. All right. Okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Any updates or previews on the Sakura Arms card temp? Check the Kickstarter. We
Yeah,
literally
the update
posted.
has a lot of mock-up cards.
Right.
Again, non-final text, but the majority, the layout is kind of what we're going with.
Right.
You can,
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see. Bullet. Okay. What kind of fixes are you looking into for the BattleCon errors? And somebody asks as a follow-up, with the recent BattleCon errata issues arising, what are your thoughts on opening QA testing to a limited public in future projects? Okay, so, and this is something that we need to make very clear to people. And, you know, as the guy basically in charge of, like, balancing and basically testing, right? But I'm not in charge of proofing. That's Josh. Not to say that again, we're all kind of like, how do I explain this entire thing? Okay, so let's answer the first question first. What kind of fixes are you looking for into the BattleCon errors? The most important fixes to address are things that are obviously just wrong. So things like, you know, some missing symbols, typographical errors, templating issues. And by templating issues, I mean like literally like, you know, this part of the card's art is cut out or something like that. I believe the only templating issue like that is the Jin's wish cards, I think, which have overlaid text. So like there's text and then there's other text on top of it, which is obviously not necessarily correct. So stuff like that. There's not a lot of like real like errata level stuff. Like not almost nothing like that. There's a decent number of things that just need to become standardized. Like it looks like a lot. I think this is the thing. Like there's a BGG thread that's currently up and people are going like, you know, oh, there's a lot of posts in there, but in reality what it actually is just that there's this one thing that needs to be standardized, and then here are like the 20 characters where that matters, right? So for example, when we say like, you know, this should be a when instead of whenever or something like that, or this should be a when instead of an if, right? That would cascade through a multiple number of characters, despite it only really being just one simple change. So it's stuff like that. So the other question is, what are your thoughts on opening QA testing to a limited public in future projects? We don't necessarily plan on doing this kind of thing, of opening, like, you know, getting a specific set of people from the community to then look at the cards and something like that. Fun fact, BattleCon was done that way. There was a limited pool of people asked to come in and proofread it, including everybody in the company. Right, Josh? Oh, Josh, your mic's not working. Josh, your mic is not working. So you need to fix that. If you want, we can just restart the call. Maybe that'll help. The technical issues are... Nope. Okay, I'll just restart the call. Technical issues are like... Oh, there you go. Welcome back, Josh.
Me now? Wait.
Yeah, I can hear you now. So
Cool.
I was saying like, you know, right, Josh? We got a limited number of people from the community to actually help us proofread it, right?
Yeah, if I remember correctly. I mean, it's been a while since we've touched BattleCon on our, but I believe that was the case.
Right.
Yes.
So the thing about it is that, how do I put this? The BattleCon you got, at the end of the day, there are errors. But I don't think it's because there was a lack of, like, a process or a lack of, like, you know, people doing the thing, like proofreading, right? It's just that BattleCon...
Unleashed was a huge project, right?
Yeah, so BattleCon 4th edition is essentially like 2,000 something cards, right? Like that's literally 2,000 something cards. For reference, whenever Magic the Gathering releases a new set, it's like 100 something cards, right? nearing 200 something cards. Even then, right? Like, BattleCon has like times 10 the number of cards in your typical Magic the Gathering set. And Magic the Gathering has infinitely more people. They probably have an entire department of like 20 something people just to proofread cards, right? So at the end of the day, I believe these errors were less about not having not having processes and people in place to do it. It's just that essentially we made the mistake of making the project too big for ourselves. This is something that we've come to learn is a problem that we have, where we keep scope creeping ourselves in our projects, which is why all of our more recent projects, Cough Bullet, Cough Sakura Arms, have been way more simple, smaller, more manageable, you know? Right, Josh?
Yeah, I think project scope is kind of a big problem as projects. Not to make excuses.
Right, of course.
Missing things is missing, of course, and there's who knows, maybe we missed one or two things in Bullet too, for all we know. But scope creep is real, and like making small projects is kind of the road to better proof and whatnot. It's not the end all be all, of course, but it's one brick in this wall of better proofing in the future.
Right. It's also like a thing that we've been. So for people who don't know and people who weren't part of the Discord community, we don't actually have that thing of like, we have like a playtester group separation thing. We don't have that anymore, for people who don't know. So we don't have a secret cabal of playtesters, playtesting the game constantly. That secret cabal is now called Level 99 Games staff. Josh, you froze again. Okay, you're back? No, you're not.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but your video's frozen, so I guess we have to recall. Okay, wait. Boom.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna recall you. Dude.
Okay.
Josh, please come back. The technical issues on this episode are wild. Let me see whether or not it's working.
I think I know. I might have too many things. I might have too many Google Drive things syncing.
Yeah. Pause the syncs, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what am I trying to say here? It's called Level 99 staff. Does that mean we don't test with people anymore? Incorrect. It means that there's no more separation, right? We basically do open public testing at this point. And that's just the process that we have. It's just more useful that way, we've come to realize, because when we have that, like, select group of like 10 something people, serving as the essential playtesters for the game, we've come to realize that's not exactly the most efficient way to do things. It's probably best for just us to iterate until we feel like the game is presentable to a large audience, then shove it to the audience and go, what do you think? Then make changes according to that. It's more structured that way too, because we're able to essentially go, hey, everyone, test. This. We want to know your impressions and stuff. Like, what do you feel and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just a very it's really hard to explain it, right? There's just a certain way that testing we feel like is the most efficient way to conduct testing. That is useful to us and will help us create the game that we want to make in the end. It's also the way that we want to test that allows us to get the feedback, the specific kind of feedback that we need in order to publish the game. And really, that's the be-all, end-all of it, is that to get the game done, we need to test in certain ways. We found that the old way that we were doing testing was good. It had its own, pros and cons, but it wasn't giving us the pros that we needed from it to begin with. So we've decided to change it up and stuff like that. It's also very, very different, the kind of relationship that happens when you bring people on and tell them that they are a playtester. So the way we used to do playtesting was, volunteer, right? As a volunteer, you could become a playtester, and then we would be announcing playtest objectives every week and stuff like that, right? Josh, you and I have found that this isn't actually very healthy for some people, right? For a lot of the playtesters, actually, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, but it's a lot of it just has to do with like us presenting people closer to final product, right? A lot of times, it's hard to convey design goals and stuff to playtesters if iterations are too early along.
Right.
And if we know, like for example, when we design bullet stuff, a lot of the heroin concepts we come up with, we're probably just going to throw in the trash like the next day.
Right.
And we don't need like 20 or 30 people to tell us that. We just need Mark to play one game to realize, oh yeah, that mechanic's not going to work.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, that's the efficiency part of it.
Yeah, and also like presenting playtesters with a closer product, like Mark was saying, give us the kind of feedback looking for, right? Does this mechanic that we know works because we've tested a lot? Is it fun? Does it work against all these different types of combinations?
Can you understand what the effect even means? Like, can you parse it?
Stuff like that.
Right. When we had essentially the cabal of playtesters, I keep calling them a cabal because it's like, they're like a secret group ninja, right? Like, but when we used to have the old playtester teams, the quote-unquote problem was that there's a disconnect between expectations of what we needed as feedback, right? Because we showed them such early versions. What was happening was that they were providing feedback on like, balance wise or, game design wise, this is what you should do, etc., 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 which is, good feedback if we want that kind of feedback. But 9 times out of 10, that's not the kind of feedback we need, right? We need like, can you read the effect? Can you understand what this character's trying to do? Is this character fun? Like that was actually the most important part of the feedback. And funnily enough, most playtesters actually didn't answer those sections as much as they did answer the sections that were about game balance and game design and things like that. Not to say that those doing that is bad. I'm just saying that like when we playtest, that's not actually the info we need, right? Especially when it comes to trying to get the game to final printing. So at the end of the day, the other thing that I was trying to refer to was that people feel obliged to playtest the moment you give them that playtester tag, the moment they ask for it. And I've had many people in the community basically go up to me and, apologize. Like, oh, I'm so sorry that I'm not able to playtest. I asked to be a playtester and like I've only playtested like 2 times this past month and stuff like that. And I've come to realize that there's like, even if it is voluntary, that there's like an invisible pressure on people that they end up feeling somewhat like obligated to do it, or they feel like, they feel like it's a task that eats away at them that they need to do and that they have this debt or something. And I don't feel like as a company with our values that we want to do that to people,
I mean, just by the nature of open testing that we do, it makes it a much more casual, less obligatory environment, right? Hey, here's a thing, you can check it out if you want to. If you don't, that's fine too.
Right.
And everyone on the server just has access to, can mess with it if and when they want. No. So
yeah, it's sorry.
And again, it's trial and error, right? We're trying out open testing. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Discord is being weird with me right now. Excuse me. I figured out what the error is.
What is the error?
Discord's trying to read my camera at the same time that my capture device is trying to read my camera. Okay. So that's why it keeps freezing on us. Well, at least that aspect of it was solved. Let me just get back to our screen. Okay.
How's chat doing?
Chat's not saying... okay. The transparency level 99 has is just so impressive. Big kudos. We try to be as transparent as possible about our processes and stuff like that. And here's the thing, right? Like, a lot of times people tell me, like, why aren't you guys saying anything about this kind of stuff, right? And you know what? Honestly, I love being able to communicate with people because at the end of the day, a lot of misunderstandings and a lot of a lot of questions get answered by just being transparent. It's just that sometimes we need time to be able to formulate our response. Not necessarily because, like, oh, we need to find a way to spin this to make it nice or whatever. But like the real answer is just that we have no idea what the response should be because we have no idea about everything, right? Like, for example, like, when am I going to learn about...
I mean, the card templates is a great example, right?
Right, exactly.
We launched the Kickstarter. We had templates that, we thought were okay. Maybe we were still working on stuff, and we got a bunch of feedback about it. And, we needed time to, talk with the translator and talk with Bach and talk with Davey, our graphic designer, stuff to make these new, or, to revert these templates correct, consider all of the issues with reversion and stuff, so that today we're fine. Like barely, actually, we were barely finished these cards, and to show you guys today on the Kickstarter date.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of it's like we're usually able to be completely transparent everything, and when we're not, it's usually just because we either our hands are tied by like
licensing, and stuff
licensing
like that.
or something, or like we're working response and we haven't been able to put that together.
Right.
So
I think the big thing that's very important to say here is that a lot of people often want responses to their now, right? And the thing about it is that what most people don't realize is that they actually don't want a response now. Because what happens is you get a half-baked response with literally no info, right? Like, the best I can give you is that we've heard what you've said, and that's it. And a lot of people aren't satisfied with that, but what else am I gonna say, right? Like, literally, we don't know how we're gonna handle it yet, right? Like, and that's truly it. It's very, very, very interesting. So at the end of the day, no, we do not plan on creating a secret cabal of proofreaders and QA people for a multitude of reasons. Mostly because we have found that this has not been a very useful way to conduct proofing or playtesting at all, especially if these people are not paid. This is very, very important. This is very important. A big reason why we also stopped doing the playtester role thing is because essentially these people are doing what you would pay people to do. Work. They're doing work, right? Essentially. And it's just not right to not pay those kinds of people, right? So we've also decided that's one of the reasons. Like, it's not the main reason, but it's like, on top of all the other reasons, right? Yeah. So no, we're not doing something like that. Okay, so we're encroaching on the 1 hour mark, so we have around like 10 minutes left. So if people have any other questions about projects, right, or just Marco, Josh, what the heck are you been doing in your free time whenever you get that? Oh, this is a really interesting question I saw in chat. Sorry, Josh, you're not going to be able to answer this one because it's not production related.
Still tell me the question.
On a completely different note, what do you think is a good way to improve at BattleCon? Josh, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Coming from someone that has played a small double-digit number of battle games, I would say play more. But Marco could probably answer that much better for you.
Right. So as a person who has played a small number of triple-digit BattleCon games, so okay, for people who don't know, I have like 700. No, 700 is a bad number because that was the number I had in high school. I've definitely played more since then. So maybe I have 1,000 games at this point or something, right? By the way, still not the most that I know. I know some people who have like 2,000 games. So I'm definitely not the most veteran BattleCon player.
What would you recommend?
So here's my recommendation, and there's 2 recommendations for this. And I really, really, really want to emphasize something. I hate the advice of just play more. So I know, sorry. No, it's okay. I know you said it, but the thing is that just playing more is actually really good, but you hit a wall that just playing more doesn't fix. Because just playing more doesn't mean you're playing right? So for example, like, you can say like, go to the gym and pump iron every day for 5 years, right? But if you pump iron the wrong way, you're not going to get swole. All you're going to get is back problems, you know? You need to be able to know the form, the technique in order to play well or practice well in order to be able to improve through that practice. So while I do recommend my battle guides if you want to know more tech about specific characters, I actually have a guide series on our blog site, level99games.com, where I talk about advanced BattleCon techniques. So things like parrying, things like card lock, things like things like resource management, threat of power, and stuff like these. And these are the scaffoldings you need so that you can like observe a game of BattleCon and understand where you can improve, what levers you have. They're not guides meant to make you good at BattleCon. They're guides meant to give you the tools you need in order to be able to improve at BattleCon at your own pace through your own style. So that's very, very important. You can just Google search them, parrying, advanced techniques, BattleCon, or parallel attacks in BattleCon and stuff like that. You'll find a blog series about it on our site. Okay. I used to play a lot more, and now that I've got my V4 characters, I want to play a lot more, but guides are now outdated. See, that's the thing, and this is really important, right? This is very important. I want to say this. This is very important. My battle guides have been outdated for years. But I still tell you to watch them. Why? Because it's not actually about the specific cards. It's not about the specific effects. It's not about the specific attack pairs, whatever. If you're going to take away anything from watching battle guides, it's, this is the hit confirm you so desperately need. Magical Stun Guard 4. Things like that are actually the real benefit of watching battle guides. You end up knowing what magic numbers are. You end up knowing what specific kinds of effects are very important on a character. For example, the ability to corner cross so that you can burst while in the corner, or the ability to passively dodge attacks, or the ability to reposition. These things are recurring things that happen in every single battle guide. And I will tell you that when I make a battle guide, it's not actually... Okay, let me peer the curtain behind a little bit, Josh, and maybe expose myself. Oh no. Do I play 70 games with every character in BattleCon and, call myself an expert at that character? No. How do I make a battle guide? It's very simple. I have a set parameter of default things that are good in BattleCon, and I just identify it for every single character. That's literally it. In fact, I will probably tell you that I've played every character in BattleCon at least thrice. But just thrice. That means I've made a guide on most characters and I've only played them 3 times. But because I've set the foundation for myself, I know what effects are good. I know what things I need to be an effective character. Then I don't really need to play that much of a character to know what's good on them. I just know. So at the end of the day, if you're going to watch battle guides, watch it not for the specific cards or the specific tech for that character. Watch it so that you learn the basics, the foundations of what makes a character good. And with that, you can play anyone. That's it. That's all I really want to say. Josh, this is something you can answer. Why does Josh's self-insert character in Indians have a fluffy, ruffle-colored shirt?
Oh, so so the self-insert in Indians is Tannis's assistant at her theater, and that's like, according to Brad, traditional Gesselian clothes for the time. Yeah, maybe it's a little more theater inspired because they work at a theater, but right. That's why they have that.
So you're a fancy boy, is essentially what you're saying.
I suppose it will, in lore, that character is. Yes.
Right, yeah. It's not about the specifics. It's about the sweet, sweet ad money. Are there ads on any BattleCon? Hey, chat, tell me, are there ads on battle guides? Because I literally do not monetize any of them. They're all literally out ad-free. So just watch them. I literally put them out just so that people can learn. And that's really it. We're nearing the 1 hour mark, so 5 more minutes of just asking us questions about things
And
you
doing
want
your
to know.
announcement at the very end.
Right. I think we should just do this announcement now. So,
Sure.
for people who don't know, we were in Aw Shucks, and we had like a small little part of their live stream. Aw Shucks is online, obviously, because of COVID and all that stuff. So we had a little contest. We were giving people copies of Street Fighter Exceed or Exceed Street Fighter, and a lot of people signed up for the competition, and we're giving away 3 copies. We have picked the winners for those copies, and we will be shipping it to them after this live stream. So then the winners are Danielle. Okay, I will pronounce these names in what I believe is the correct accent, but correct me if I'm wrong, right? Danielle Morales, Jason Troweek, and Patrick McGinty. Congratulations, you've won a copy of Exceed Street Fighter. They'll be shipped to you sometime soon. For people who don't know, we just randomly picked winners. I feel like that was the most fair. And, randomly picking is always the most fair, right? So,
Sure.
yeah. So there you go. Those are the 3 winners. Congratulations. Thanks for participating in Aw Shucks and our giveaway. Hopefully you enjoyed and enjoy a copy of Exceed. It's pretty fun. Though I'm not sure if it's specific. I'm not sure which specific Exceed Street Fighter set. It might be the whole bundle, I think. It might be the whole bundle. I think it's like every character from
That's
season
pretty
3.
cool.
Yeah. Don't hold me to that though. I need to double check. Okay, I don't think so. So I don't think people have any more questions. Which is good. Quite frankly, I was expecting a lot more influx of questions about a bunch of things. I'm just glad we were able to address most of the burning questions because that's what people need to know. So Josh, before we head out, is there anything you want to say to the fans, to anybody watching?
There's plenty of things I want to say, but I'm
sorry.
my
You
hands
can
are
say.
tied.
You can say.
I mean, thanks for sticking us. The world's been a pretty rough spot, so we appreciate having everyone stick and checking out everything. We have a lot of cool stuff come up, like I've been saying. Hopefully, we can talk about some of it this year because there's some very, very, very exciting things. Like you thought soccer was cool. Just wait.
Oh, man. Not to say that
We've got
Sakura
some-
Arms isn't cool. It's just that, like,
Of course, yeah, I'm ecstatic about soccer.
You haven't seen
but-
our final forum yet, right? Like, it's. I really want to talk about.
There are some cool things.
Josh, I really want to talk about.
I know. You can't. You're not allowed to.
We played it
Maybe
yesterday, dude. It was.
I know. Yeah, we're doing some internal playtesting for some new stuff too.
It's insane, dude. And like, man, it's John.
You'll get to talk about it eventually.
Dude, the fact that I'll
We
be
still gotta get logos and stuff made.
the fact that I'll be able to play test that eventually is like not internally, right? Okay, people who don't know how playtesting works, you don't need to just playtest for design, right? So there's usually 3 steps to playtesting, right? You design playtest, which is basically what we do internally, which is like, we make sure that the design isn't garbage, right, Josh?
Right.
And then we make sure that it is basically balanced, right? Like, it's not a 50-50% matchup against every single character, but like, there's no glaring like, I just play this one card and then it instantly wins me the game kind of stuff, right? Because that's a design flaw, right? Then you have balance testing. So this is a mix of internal and external. So internally, we would essentially grind games against each other or grind enough games, right? To a point where we're like, this is mostly balanced. And then we go open testing where we unleash it onto the world and go like, yo, just in case we missed something, like check us out.
Checks,
right?
yeah.
Sanity check us, right? So this is where we get like, people go like, I don't understand how this effect works, or like I don't understand how this works. But there's also a third step that's actually what people don't know, which is blind testing. Because when we release an open test like this, most of the people who end up playing the game are people who are already well versed in the game itself. So for example, when we release Exceed Season 17 or whatever, right? The people who want to open test it are, fun fact, people who already know Exceed, right? So like they're not a good barometer for certain things that we need to know, such as whether or not you can parse an effect, whether or not an effect is too complicated for its own good, and stuff like that.
Yeah, can you read the rulebook and play the game?
Right, exactly. So can you read the rule book without anyone teaching you the game, and you teach yourself the game? This is actually really important. So blind testing is also very important. So I really cannot wait to blind test the game that I'm really excited about. Also, there's another game I'm excited about that I don't... Can I say who made that game? That the other game I'm excited about? Can I just say who made it, but nothing else about it?
I would need to know which game you're talking about.
It's.
Can you type it to me?
Okay, no, I don't need to type it. I just need to say this.
Yeah.
So you know the game that I'm excited about, right?
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
the one I played? Okay, the game I'm excited about is inspired by the game I want to say who made.
Oh, you mean who's doing the art for the...
No, I'm just saying who made it, like literally the person who designed it.
Oh yeah, you can talk about that.
Right. Sure. Okay. So I'm really excited for another game that Josh made.
Yeah, I'm working on a thing that's not Bullet.
Ooh.
Is in Cycle 617, the same IP.
Yeah, it's in the same IP, but absolutely like a wholesale different game. And I'm really excited for it because
it's very left field.
Very.
And apparently, it was so good it inspired Brad's another game, which is even better, in my opinion.
Right. I mean, okay, they're different. They're just wholesale different games.
They're different, yeah.
Yeah, they look very similar. It's kind of like the Exceed Battlecon thing, right? Like where they both look very similar, but at the end of the day, they're wholesale so different, right?
Right. It's even further apart than that, I would say.
Yeah, even more, right? Okay, my gosh, the chat. Excited for LARPing, the board game.
LARPing, the board game. Interesting.
Right. When you kill someone in game, you die in real life. That's what it is.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. All right, so I think that's going to be it for this episode of Level of This Livecast. This episode has had less structure, but I felt like this was one of this was one of the times where we needed this kind of like fireside, like let's chill out, let's chat, let's talk about some stuff you guys want to know about.
Yeah, we do these every once in a while, so it's good to keep doing them. Right.
Because a lot of people have their questions, a lot of people want to just hear some news from us. And at the end of the day, right, like when we do these things, it's a lot more about communicating things with people, because a lot of stuff doesn't go through when you just type 10 paragraphs of text, right? Sometimes you just got to hear somebody say something. And hopefully you all enjoyed the new Sakura Arms templates. I really love the new icons myself. I think they're cool.
Yeah, we'll be back in a couple weeks probably with more Sakura games with those templates and with a whole lot more goddesses.
Right.
Probably all of them.
I'm really excited to play with the new templates. I'm really excited to be able to play the other goddesses. And you know what else I'm excited for? This thing. No, this thing. This art? Hell yeah, dude. This art?
Off the OST art. Okay.
Yeah, the OST art. It's been on screen this whole time. Davey did an amazing job, right? And here's the thing, right? We didn't even ask Davey to do this. Davey just liked the concept of making an album art for Bullet, that he just did it. That's awesome. I'm so glad it happened. All right. So
that's very cool.
Yeah, especially you, right? Because this is your world, your character.
Oh yeah, I was super excited for it. Yeah.
Right.
I still am. It's great.
Yeah. Like Josh doesn't show it, but he's leaping with joy inside right now. The I don't know, your inner child or something. That's a concept that Americans use.
Lack of sleep is pulling down on the enthusiasm a bit.
Oh, Josh. You and me both, brother. You and me both, brother. All right. Okay. I just everyone, we're fine. This is just us exaggerating. We're not being like work abused or whatever. It's just that deadlines need to be met sometimes, and sometimes you need to work overtime. That's
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Hey, we're not always like this. We're not always like this. Yeah.
So we'll see everybody in a couple weeks, 2 weeks time.
All right, 2 weeks.
Wednesday after next Wednesday.
Hopefully we'll be playing some Sakura Arms. Hopefully.
Oh, we will. If we're not playing Sakura Arms, there's a big problem. So. We
I
will
don't
definitely be
look,
soccer
man.
Rams.
Anything can happen in 2 weeks. What if my entire country gets flooded? Right? What if my computer dies? Who knows? Right?
We're fine. We'll probably be playing soccer Rams in 2 weeks' time.
All right. Okay. Thanks for everybody in the chat being here, and being very considerate and being very nice, asking very, very good questions. So, without much to say, I've been your host, Marco DeSantos, also known as Mechanic Critic, and the technological support master himself. And with me has been my wonderful co-host, bullet designer, game I'm excited for designer that I can't name just yet.
Josh, also known as A3.
Right.
Happy gaming, everybody.
Don't forget your special action, and thank you. Roll of Indians, thank you, and good night.